Hello everyone. I finished that table, the end table, and I wanted to kind of go over lessons I learned and how I'm going to improve this second table. And I'll just start from the very top of the table and just kind of work my way down. On the top here, and I've got the second end table right here in front of the camera. How I cut these angles here and how I cut all the slots, I thought that was really pretty good. I'm not sure I'd do any improvements on that. As far as the legs go, if you remember, here's the leg, and on the outside of the leg, I tapered it slightly, and I did that. If you remember, I created this jig, and the leg would just sit inside this jig here, and when I ran it across the table saw, or excuse me, the bandsaw, I would come right here and cut as close as I could, just so that I wouldn't have any tear out. Because one thing I realized that was happening was, if I didn't do that, when I ran it across my router with a flush trim bit, it could grab the walnut and create just a breakout area right there. So if you end up making the table, definitely create the jig, put it on your bandsaw, and get this top outside edge as close as you can to the jig, and that'll definitely prevent any tear out. The other thing I would I'm going to do on this second table is after I would cut the leg on the bandsaw, I would run it through my drum sander again, and I had 100 grit paper. I'm going to probably get down to 150. I believe that's what Rubio recommends. I will definitely sand these a lot better before I glue them to the end table, just so that there's not so much sanding there at the end. The other thing I would do, and I mentioned it on one video and ended up not doing it, and I kind of regretted it, was I ended up gluing the legs onto the tabletop, and I didn't glue the bottom, so they were pretty much straight. After the top glue was dry, I would then come in here with Rubio, and that was just very tedious. I'm definitely going to apply the Rubio to the leg before I attach it to the top of the table, and that will make that a lot easier. As far as the glue goes at the bottom, it's holding really well. I don't think there's going to be an issue there. And probably my last big thing I'm going to do is, I had the tabletop upside down here, and I would insert these legs into each of these slots just like I just did. And if you remember, I would keep it a little bit proud here. That way I could come back and sand that off, and I'd have a flush fit there. I think what I'm going to do on this next one here, let me remove these bench cookies here real quick, is I'm going to flip this 90 degrees. And the reason I'm going to do that is, if I'm gluing these legs like this, I'm able to see both the top of the table and the end of the table, and so I will create a jig so that that will fit right here, and make sure that this is 90 degrees to here. It'll just be a quick little, almost like a table, and so that as I glue them down, I'm able to look at both the top of the table, the end of the table, and I can look at all sides. Also, that'll be very, very easy to make sure that each of these 9 legs is 90 degrees of the table, because if I put a table right here at the exact height that I needed, I know that'll be 90 degrees. It'll be impossible to go any other degree than that. So those are just some of the lessons I learned on this first table. I'm still very happy with how it came out, but I know this second table is going to come out a lot better. So just wanted to give you guys quick lessons learned from just improvements I'm going to be making on this second table. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.